What's up, y'all? I'm going to talk about this song, Midnight Train to Georgia, today, and I'm going to give you a few things that you may or may not know about it. And today I'm going to focus on 3 versions in particular. Let's get it. Okay, so before we get into who wrote it and who did it first, second, third, and all of that rigmarole, let me tell you something interesting about the original version of the song. Hear me when I say it now. The original version of the song did not involve a train at all, or the state of Georgia. Imagine that. The original title of the song was Midnight Plane to Houston. So the song was written by Jim Weatherly in 1972, and it was on his 1972 album entitled Weatherly. His version was more of a country song because that was the type of singer and songwriter that he was. So the story goes on how this song came to be. One day he called his friend, famous actor Lee Majors, up on the telephone. Apparently Lee Majors wasn't there, and his fiance, I would imagine at the time, he was at least dating, was Farrah Fawcett. You know Farrah Fawcett, Charlie Angel. So they were dating at the time. This was before they got married. And she answered his phone. So when she answered the phone, Jim Weatherly asked her, what she was doing. And basically she said, well, I'm about to get ready to take the midnight plane to Houston to go see, I guess, some of her folks, some of her family members. And songwriters take inspiration from anything and can make a song out of it. So when she said that, that was a title that he just kept in his brain. And eventually he wrote the song called Midnight Plane to Houston. So the next version of the song that was released came out in January of 1973, and it was released by none other than Miss Cissy Houston. Yes, Cissy Houston, the mother of the voice, Whitney Houston. Now, Cissy Houston's version was produced by an Atlanta producer called Sonny Limbo. And he asked Jim Weatherly if he could change the title of the song from Midnight Plane Houston to Midnight Train to Georgia. Apparently, Jim Weatherly told him that that was fine. As long as he's getting his money, he's still the publisher, the songwriter. Don't change nothing else. You can change the title. The arrangement is basically the same and everything that his was. Also, when Cissy Houston's version came out, if you look at how they spelled night and midnight on there, they spelled it N-I-T-E instead of N-I-G-H-T. But that's fine, because when you say it, it's going to say midnight. See, look, it's right here. See, look. So Miss Houston's version peaked at number 45 on the Billboard R&B charts. Give it a listen and see what you think. Hers is a little bit country, a little bit soul, a little bit R&B. Her vocals are crisp and clear and everything, so it's all together good. Ooh, with that harmonica though, I'm just saying. Take a listen, see what you think. Now let's talk a little bit about Miss Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight and the Pips were the next to record this song, right? Gladys Knight is a legend. Nobody has a voice like Gladys Knight. So much so that when she was on The Masked Singer, I knew from the first time she sang she was that doggone Bumblebee. Don't play. Also, when Gladys Knight and the Pips recorded Midnight Train to Georgia, they kept the new title, Midnight Train to Georgia. They didn't take it back to the plane. They stayed on the train, and it makes sense because, guess what? They're from Georgia. And by the way, 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of the release of the Gladys Knight and the Pips version of Midnight Train to Georgia. Boom. So the story goes is that Gladys went to the studio when it was time to do the lead vocal for the song, and she nailed it in one take. Not too many people can nail it in one take. Her brother Bubba was basically the one who produced all of her vocals back then. And when they got to that end part, he basically got into the monitor and told her, hey, do the church thing. And when she heard him say do the church thing at the end, because she said she's not good at ad-libbing, I heard this in an interview, she got on that mic and she said, I got to go, I got to go, I got to, hey! Mm-hmm. And from all of that, we ended up with the classic that we love today, even right now. I'm about to go listen to it. Now, this version of the song catapulted Gladys Knight and the Pips into the stratosphere of success. This song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100s, stayed there for about 2 weeks. And hey, it is an iconic song. Everybody loves this song. It is, and it was basically, you would call it their signature song. I would call it their signature song. And Gladys is still performing now, and she still sings it. I don't think she can do a concert without doing it. I think they might, try to fuss at her online if she did, and I'll say it that way. Go listen to all 3 of these songs that we've talked about. Put down in the comments which one you like the most, which one you like the least, and tell me why.